Hey everybody, today I'm just going to show you a couple tips and tricks and things that you can do on how to keep a safe base in Minecraft if you play on a PvP server. First of all, what I did here was build that cabin on top of the mountain right there. Get out of here. Anyways, I built that up there as somewhat of a decoy, so if anyone sees it, they probably won't mess around with it too much, or they may want to destroy it, but they probably won't think too much about the area. But what I have here is a naturally occurring pond, and it's got these little indentations and divots inside of it, and they're all natural as well. But if you jump into this one particular area down here, you fall into my mining cavern, which there should be a ladder there, but it kind of got knocked away by my contraption. You're going to have to continue to replace that, but I have these two levers here which basically just block off the area. The first one down here, that closes off the door. The second one, that closes off the top, knocking the ladder out the way. So if you have somebody that's following you, they can't really get too far because they're blocked off. And I find that iron is the best thing to do, really, because first of all, it does take a little while to iron it, unless you to mine it, and unless you have a diamond pickaxe or something. And for the most part, not everybody has one of those. You got to be lucky to get one. So, that's going to either set you back, or possibly you could starve to death in there if it's, if you're low on food or something. I was thinking about making a way to put water in there, but that's a bit too extravagant just for something that's right there near the entrance. But I think that it's easy to build a thing out of the iron blocks because it's a lot easier than getting some sort of obsidian or something like that. But one thing I did here was that I made it look like it's a old used up mining tunnel. So you want to make sure to mine everything that you can. So if somebody comes through here, it's best to use the mining tunnel that you start off the game with. So if somebody else comes through here, they're going to assume that somebody already made something here. They may look around for something, but they probably won't find much. But it's best to build it and branch it out in different directions. And then down here, I found this naturally occurring crater in the earth. I guess where it was like an earthquake or something, and it had just split the ground open. But there's a pool of water down there, a small pool of water. And you got to go and jump. And I know exactly where to jump. Other people might see that and jump into it too if they know what they're doing. But I added this little switch down here. You turn that on, and that turns the pistons on, which closes that up. So there's no way of them getting down all right. And if you don't want to use sticky pistons, then you could just build a regular piston and just destroy the block and replace it once you close it. That's a case right there. But I recommend use a sticky piston. And then down here, it's kind of my fault for building this in such a big area, because the trick to doing this is that you want to build your secret base in somewhere that people think it's been all consumed and there's nothing of value there. So a big place like this, you're probably it's gonna be a medium traffic area if people are gonna be mining or just exploring. But you got to double jump over that lava right there and go down here. You got some more lava right here, and I actually placed that piece right there. It looks kind of conspicuous, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it because it'll look more conspicuous if I add another piece there. Maybe, maybe not. But what you can do to fix that whole lava issue there where I've got the lava stream going, just pour the lava back into that and then oh. Alright. Here we go. Now you got to double jump over to that, and then you got to be careful not to fall off, and then you got to double jump over to this side over here, and then over here, I actually just as an example, that is something that's going to be a high traffic area. It's going to really bring people towards it if they're down here. So you definitely want to mine everything out from there just to make it look like there's nothing there. You definitely need to mine that out. But you do a double jump over it and you fall down into this room, which I have it blocked off by a ladder because a ladder separates it. And then over here, it's pretty much down to the bedrock. I'm just trying to see if I can grow some trees or something. Trying to find a way that I can grow trees underground to give me a fresh source of wood, because you'll need wood for such things as torches like that, especially underground. But we have right there, we have our large chest, and then underneath that we have another large chest, and you can just throw in your fake stuff into there, the stuff that you don't really care for, weak tools and whatnot. You got another one under there. It's kind of obvious to most people that it's down there, but what's not obvious is that there's this cascade of lava right there with a large chest behind it. And that's really interesting. It's a great way to hold your items, and people won't suspect to look behind the lava. At least most people won't. And then back here, I've got an entire wall of chests, which you can actually use. You can click through the lava, which is really great. I recommend to do that empty-handed so that you don't start filling up the spaces with whatever you're holding and messing up your stream of lava. But you can see all that back there, so that'll definitely hold all your items. Next, well, actually, it's a pretty big wall of that, so they might want to use that and grief your house or something. But next up here is a different type of room. This room is more secure. This is more of a damage control area, which is if you've got a ton of stuff that you don't want anybody to destroy, such as you've got auto farms or you've got all different sorts of things that you really don't want people to mess with. This is what I recommend doing, building this right in the center of your room, which is basically an upside down pyramid of sand with ladders attached. You don't necessarily have to use ladders. I actually recommend that you don't use ladders, but here in creator mode, I think it looks a bit better. I recommend for you to use torches or something like that. They use low amount of materials. This costs a lot of wood to make, but some people are just short on coal. But either way, it's going to take wood if you want to make torches that way. But what I did was I put all these, well, basically I just made it look like it's a regular base down in here, and stuck everything down in there like that. And it's pretty much going to fill up the entire room with sand, but what I did was I put a piston underneath the ground, and that I inverted the current of that so that you can always have it extended. You can see that right here. So that's always extended until you step on this plate on the other side of the room over there, and then that's going to remove that. It's going to pull that block of stone down, and then that's going to pull everything else down. I'm just going to leave the door open just for purposes of watching it so you can see what happens. But you step on the area right here, and then that pulls away, and everything just starts falling down, and now you're blocked in. So anybody who's going to want to grief that section, first of all, they don't know what's inside of it. Secondly, I don't know if they're going to think that it's worth all the trouble to go through to dig out all this stuff. But for you, well, of course, I kind of messed up right here because I didn't put as much sand on the sides, because as you build it, you get closer and closer to the ceiling that you made. So you definitely want to build. You definitely want to give yourself more room around the edges like that, or build your stuff towards the center of the room. But you can definitely do that, and that's one great way to discourage people from griefing your house, because pretty much you're griefing it yourself as a form of damage control. Because if you've got all sorts of like automatic farms and different things like that inside of your house, or if you got a ton of diamond armor, a ton of diamond weapons and stuff, it's easier just to sacrifice, an hour, or not even an hour, maybe like 20 minutes of your time and maybe a couple diamond shovels, than to have to reacquire all that stuff. Anyways, pretty much this is the concept behind everything, is that you just take a block of sand or gravel. You don't necessarily need to use sand. You can use gravel too. And then you knock out the torches and attach the torches to the side of the sand. That way everything gets held up. And pretty much that's a really easy way of damage control and protecting your house against griefing, even though you kind of grief it yourself. But it's better to control it instead of having somebody destroy everything and you have to start from scratch. Anyways, that's all for now. Even though I did do this on a creator level, it's a lot easier just to get it done. I got this done in about 20-30 minutes probably, so it's not it's not that big of a deal to do it on here. But if I were to go onto a live server and do that, it probably would take probably about a week or something to do all this, if that, assuming that I didn't get griefed in the process. Anyways, that's all for now. Let me know what you thought about this, and I will see you guys later.